Borg. Good Borg.
Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped on an Info Dump podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Get Dumped On, the Info Dump podcast, where Ash and I info dump our the results of our hyperfixations onto Andrew and Bo. You learn a little, you laugh a little, and you learn to love a little. That's not our official slogan. That's just something that I'm toying with right now. So Ash is going to be dumping today on well, we'll save it for the surprise. So
they're going to see the
Ash.
episode title.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, I don't know
take
what's
it
happening
away.
today. What's happening? No, I mean,
Well, I'll tell you.
this is a surprise. It's a surprise dumper.
Yeah, we're going blind in this one.
It's what's what do you call it when you have a surprise poop?
Diarrhea.
Yeah, well,
Sudden diarrhea. Sudden
IBS, I think it's called.
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah.
This is called trusting a fart.
I like
Or-
that. I
Yes.
like that.
Well,
No,
here we go.
that's it.
Get
That's what
ready
it is.
to trust in me, the fart, I guess. Today we're going to talk about drinking in college, because doing this podcast makes me think a lot about my college days, what I learned in college. We reminisce, have good times. And it got
Really
me
just
thinking.
lording over Andrew and Bo.
Well,
Bo
no, because
and Andrew didn't go to college.
well, see, the thing that interests me in this case is that I wanted to know what it was like in the underage drinking scene, because college is synonymous with drinking. You go to college to drink. But what was it like, that underage scene, not in a college setting? So we have two of each, which is a small sample size, but I still think an interesting difference in perspective. And so in college, it's very easy to drink, there's just alcohol where you go. Everyone's got a roommate or a brother or their sister's ID or whatever. Is that similar to your experience, Zachary?
It was kind of difficult for us the first couple of years just because I mean, freshman year I was aggressively straight edge for
You
the
fucking
first
nerd.
6 months or so. Yeah, big fucking nerd.
Nerd.
And then but we
It's
didn't
okay to be
actually
straight edge.
do any drinking parties until one of my friends got into a frat, and so then we would just rely on him getting us into the frat. And then one time we were at the frat party and the guy next to the keg started carding people. He was like the frat dad or something. I don't know what his deal was, but he was carding people. It was ridiculous. So we were just sober at a frat party one night. It was terrible.
Oh, that's terrible.
I love how you.
I have a
I love how
question
you
about
went. Hold on.
Mr. Straight Edge.
Well,
Yeah.
I,
Go ahead.
love how
Go ahead.
beforehand he's like, this one time at a frat party, he totally went into the American Pie one time at band
You
camp.
American Pie. You American Pie.
Bye, Miss. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Did you draw X's on your hands and or arms?
No, I did
You
not.
like
I was
CM
just
Punk?
annoyed about it.
Bo's laughing.
Get him tattooed.
Thankfully not that obnoxious, but I was in high school. I was in SAD, and
The story's making me
Students,
sad.
I was also
students
sad in
against
high
drunk
school.
driving.
Oh,
I had many.
that too.
Oh yeah, students against drunk driving, and I had dry parties and stuff like that at my
Well, in
parents'
high
house.
school, that makes sense. But what was the experience like for you guys, not in a
Wait.
place where you're expected to be drinking?
Oh, you mean?
You have dry parties?
I mean, ugh. Were you drinking Canadian
Somebody
dry?
pop?
Canadian
Is that when
dry
you stand
ginger
around a
ale?
pool and don't jump in?
No, it was without alcohol. We were drinking Mountain
Or
Lightning.
water? Oh, that's okay.
You get all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
No, Mountain Lightning.
Oh,
Mountain Lightning,
Oh,
the off-brand Walmart
Walmart
Mountain
These
Dew.
poor ass college bitches.
I'm just interested in what that whole vibe is for people who aren't in a situation in which it's just a bunch of young people and it's kind of easy access. I mean, is it that way at parties when you're, 18 and do you go to college parties? I don't know,
I was when I was underage drinking with people, it was with Andrew. He was my guy.
We got him. Call the cops.
Yep.
That's confession. That was my evil twin. Schmandrew.
Oh, I hate that guy. That guy fucking parties. By the way.
He fucking partied. Let me
Oh
tell
yeah,
you.
Schmandrew. always partying.
So, like, was it a similar situation in which you would, like, go to parties and then just, like, alcohol was there sometimes?
So for what me and my friends did, we had a guy who worked at a grocery store, and he was a cashier, even though he was under 21, and then we would just give him an ID, and he would type in a fake 21 birthday age. That's how we got a hold of most of
Oh
our
my God.
alcohol,
That is so scandalous.
and it worked.
This podcast is not about drinking. This podcast is about crime.
Oh,
Yeah, about breaking the law.
Yeah.
I have diplomatic immunity, so it's okay.
That is wild.
Oh yeah, you know what else I'm remembering now is when we were in college, my buddy who was in the frat was also like a couple months older than all of us, so he also bought us all a beer when he turned 21 before we did.
I mean, that's always the case, right? Someone always knows someone else that's over 21 and they just like buy it. So I'm glad that it's the same everywhere you go, you know? And I got really interested in this idea of like, why did college become synonymous with drinking? Especially because like when you're young, drinking is like a thing. And then like, what would it look like drinking for college students like throughout history? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to start us off in the 1800s, turn of the century. At this time, college...
So by that, do you mean like the 1790s or like the 1810s
No,
or like
1800s.
the 1890s?
Like 1800s, 1900s, turn of the century.
Okay.
It turns out that college at this time like wasn't super educationally formidable. It was a lot of just like an upper class thing, you know, like this is where you go when you learn the ministry and like you get learned because you're a white male who's rich, you know? So they're probably just drinking the same as thing everything else, like beer and cider, rum and whiskey, although it was bourbon, right? Because it's from the United States. Isn't that how that works? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't remember.
We're going to go with
bourbon
yes.
is made out of corn, is what I know.
Well, we got a lot of corn in these parts.
True.
At this time, there were like less than 100 American higher education institutions. So like people weren't really going to college, but this is where like the birth of the frat boy was, because a lot of these colleges were like a way for young men to come together and have camaraderie and like philanthropy and philosophy and all that stuff that frat boys do now. But drinking was definitely a huge part of that. So I think that's kind of funny that the root of the frat boy goes literally back to like the 1800s.
That is fun.
Apparently it was not.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were going to keep going. I'm sorry.
I was sitting there
Damn.
like, do I chime
I
in
was,
now?
I was
Get some
intently,
crackers.
very intently listening. to
Yeah,
that.
I was like, do I
I
chime
need to
in
get some
now?
saltines.
Don't cut that.
And
No
so
cutting.
this time at college was just like a real sausage fest, just like a big time whites only sausage fest, which doesn't sound
Ew,
like a great place to
gross.
be, but for them,
Everyone knows dark
time.
meat is the best meat.
What about half dark meat?
I stand by my
Anyway.
statement.
What do you mean by?
What do you think I mean by half dark meat?
Have you ever heard of that?
Zach, answer the
porn
It's
star
question.
called
like
Two-
it's like peanut butter and
It's
jelly in
like-
a jar. It's all mixed
You ever
together
heard of
in
that
there.
porn star? They call him Two Tone Malone.
That's a
Oh,
great
no.
name.
Oh, why?
Oh,
Why?
What, does he have alopecia on his dick or something?
It's something like that. Yeah.
It's two
I'm
tones.
gonna need,
I'm guessing by the name.
Bo, can you Google that for us?
You
for the
got
pod?
it.
Please don't. Please,
You
for
got it.
the love of God, don't. Okay, anyway. And so after the turn of the century, and this is also time when people would go to college to, like, I'm just blazing forward as I always do, to, like, learn, you know, etiquette of life. Like, oh, you put the salad fork on the left and you drink port after dinner and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember when I had to take Salad Forks 100 my freshman year.
Well, the thing about college during this time, too, is funny, is that, like, there was no majors. Like majoring, like, different teaching, like, specialized things really wasn't a thing. You would just go and become learned, you know?
Learned?
Yeah. Philosophy, history, morality, piety. All those
So it was
fun...
more like a trade school back then?
I mean, not. It was more just like a general education,
I don't know.
because
I
most
didn't go to
most people didn't like have formal education really, like, at all.
Still
So
don't.
like it
Me
was
and
just
Andrew,
like
what up?
here you learn like science and stuff.
Nerds.
Go get educated.
And then I was wondering what it was like for college students during Prohibition, and so I looked into that a little bit, and it turns out that drinking during Prohibition in colleges did not really slow down at all.
Well, that's like that didn't
makes sense.
slow down anyone really.
That's true.
That's just the American way. You tell me I can't have
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna
I mean,
want
it didn't
I want
last like that
more.
long.
Yeah, all the most wild stories you hear about booze come out of the Prohibition.
I learned
yeah.
that because of the 20s being boom years for the automobile industry, the radiators that they needed to use as or the antifreeze that they needed to keep the radiators good during the winter was siphoned off, like, and sold off the top to, like, make bootleg alcohol. So because there were so many cars, there was a lot of, like, antifreeze around, and you could make liquor out of it, which I think is kind of funny.
That
Hi, that's gross.
That sounds like it's killing people.
It
That
also
would
sounds
kill,
like
right?
ingenious invention.
Is that why people go blind from drinking moonshine?
I do not know. I don't know.
I've never heard a good story that ends with that starts with we drank a bunch of moonshine.
And like the students during this time, like they would, ferment it in their bathtubs. Alcohol was also, I saw an article that said a lot of alcohol was brought down from Canada for people that lived in like northern states because they're like, you basically barely needed IDs back then. Social security numbers like weren't a thing. So like,
oh my God, I just remembered that I knew a guy freshman year who was trying to make prison wine in his dorm.
oh my gosh, he was really
Oh my
living
God,
in the
I forgot
30s.
about that. No, it went out terribly. It did not work. He had like a...
Yeah, where was he?
Like-
Was he making it in a toilet? Because you have to make it in a toilet.
It was in like
That's
a
in
Home
prison,
Depot
though.
bucket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, the
okay.
porcelain makes it good. Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah.
Mm,
How do you
imparts a flavor onto it.
How do you know that?
Prison.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Ash.
Yeah.
I have so many questions about the dorm room bootlegger. I mean, did you drink it and did anyone die? Are the two main things I want to know.
No and no.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Is that
You're
why your
gonna have
eyes
to-
were so bad for a while before you got LASIK? Because you
They
drank
were
a bunch of
really
toilet
good, and then I
moonshine?
drank that college moonshine, and I went blind.
I used to be able to see
You're
miles
going to have to
away.
lower your
before.
expectations because my entire memory of the dorm room moonshine is that it existed.
At the end of this
Wow.
podcast,
You came in hot with that story, and that.
No, he's gonna
That's it.
he's gonna remember at the end of the podcast. We're all winding down. We're saying everybody. He goes, "Oh wait, no, now I remember about this this wine."
And then that guy
And then he
killed
jumped
the
off
guy.
the roof.
Yeah,
that's
his
like-
name was
it's like-
Johnny Walker.
It's like when you
Hey.
think you're all done and then the poop just keeps coming out. Whatever the word for that is.
Oh my
Sharpie,
goodness.
sharping.
It's called a
Um,
false finish.
Oh, you said Sharpie. I thought you said shark meat. And I was like, what the fuck?
Shark meat.
Shark
Ooh-ah.
meat.
And then okay, so I have a.
Don't get us on tangents. We will fucking roll with them.
Let's move on to and then it was like wartime in the 40s, and like people were getting a little more conservative. It's wartime. Blah blah blah. But I'm gonna hit you with a two dumps and a chump. Although it's two chumps and a dump, so there's one correct answer.
So it's just a regular multiple choice question.
Yeah, but it's fun because it's our podcast.
I make the rules.
Y'all ready for it?
Yes.
Which popular drinking game was invented at Dartmouth College in the 1950s? Beer pong, fuddling cup, or frobbly mobbly?
Probably mobbly. Everyone knows that.
I've only heard of one of those, and you've tricked me in the past, so I don't trust you. So I'm going to say probably mobbly.
Probably mobbly. Yeah.
Frobly Mobbly. Yeah, I'm down for Frobly Mobbly as well.
All right, you're going with frobbly mobbly. That is unfortunately incorrect and the only one that is not actually a drinking game.
God
The cor-
damn it. We're so
Probably-
bad at this.
Frobbly mobbly is a fun old-timey word that means neither well or unwell. So it's like, how you doing? I'm feeling pretty frobbly
Oh,
mobbly today.
fucking always.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
bringing it back, baby.
Yeah, I think we
Probably
should.
mobbly. I'm going to change my goddamn name to that. Holy crap. I fell asleep today on the floor like a cat after work.
Just feeling frobbly mobbly. Fuddling cup is an old-time drinking game from England in like the 1400s or 1500s, where it's like a funny little cup that has a bunch of different, like, it's basically like 4 cups fused together, and the trick is to find a way to drink out of it without spilling it all over yourself.
I always find a way though.
There's like it's like a puzzle game, like you have to like figure out how to do it. And the correct answer is beer pong. Beer pong was purportedly invented at Dartmouth College in the 1950s.
I don't like it when you trick us. I don't like that. I
Yeah.
think that
Oh, why was
That's
that a
rude.
trick?
It was a trick. Come on, you threw up.
it's
beer.
like a reverse trick.
It's like
It's because you did that one time with the Nutcracker guy, and we're like, "There's no way that's real." And this time, you give us, you throw us a
I'm just
little,
keeping you on your
like,
toes.
little
It
keeps you
softball,
smart.
and we're like, "Yeah,
Street smarts.
that's an obvious plant," but it was an obvious, non-obvious.
It's like when you watch the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? And like the first question's the easiest fucking question in all of it. Like so, we should have
got the easy one wrong.
Yeah.
No, that's no.
I'm saying like
stupid.
that's how much that question is, or a practice question in the quiz. Like we should have gotten that, yeah, but probably mobbly though. Come on,
Probably mobbly is such a good word. I know, it's alluring. Yeah, so allegedly at Dartmouth College, frat brothers were playing a game of ping pong during a party, and people started just putting their cups down on the table as you do, and it gave them the idea to hit the ball in the cups using the ping pong paddle. And so it's technically, according to Dartmouth College students, it has to be played with a handleless ping pong paddle. If you're not playing with a paddle, you're not playing beer pong.
But a paddle with no handle?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. It was just in all the descriptions. So apparently, it's a paddleless ping pong handle. You just hold it. I don't know.
If there was going to be a place with a paddleless,
Not a paddleless, a handleless ping pong paddle. Oh my god,
sorry.
so dumb.
If there was a place with a handleless ping pong paddle, it would be at a frat because somebody did something stupid and broke it off for some stupid
Slap
reason.
somebody with it.
All I'm thinking about those, those little Velcro balls that you throw it and you catch it with the Velcro mitt, whatever, the paddle. That's something. I'm thinking a little strap around it, hold it, little hand. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little handleless ping pong paddle.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you're saying that all these people at this, you said Dartmouth?
Mm-hmm.
Dartmouth College was having a party that was, it needed to be kicked up another notch. So the party itself was probably wobbly.
Ooh,
I don't think
whatever that
that's
was.
necessarily the
No.
case, but okay.
It was not necessarily good or bad. It was just there. But then eventually a cup got put down on the
and
table.
then it just became
And,
non-proper.
and some innovator was like, "Oh, I bet I could hit my ping pong ball in your cup,"
Some guy named
and it
Logan
birthed the game.
who plays lacrosse too much
Yeah.
What's
was
his name?
like, bro,
What was his name?
Logan.
I don't think Logan was a popular name back then.
In the 50s.
In the 50s?
Sturgill.
Sturgis. I don't know. That's the name I always go to when talking about old people. It's not even a name.
Lenny.
Lenny.
That's a good one. And Lenny was like, "Hey, what if I put this table down here? See, yeah."
Lenny, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Well, watch this. Beer pong.
I really think that we lost something because by the time that I was playing beer pong, it was just throwing the ball.
It still is. Nothing's changed.
So
That's
that
what it is.
yeah, so that happened apparently the change from paddles to just throwing it happened at Lehigh University in Pennsylvania, where they started
Fucking Pennsylvania.
just kind of throwing it into the cups, and they claim that it's not called beer pong, that it's called Beirut, and that it's like a variant.
Oh my God. I forgot about that. I also forgot about that.
This is awakening a
also
lot of
about
demons
that.
inside of Zach.
Yeah, he's ready
Well,
to go.
you know, I've been out of college for a while, but I just, yeah, I
yeah,
remember
went to
that the
college.
people in one of the frats would call it Beirut. Somebody got into a fight about it. Well, not like a real fight, but like an argument.
I'm just betting.
Yeah.
It's beer pong. It's Beirut. Oh, yeah? Well, fuck
It's
you.
Beirut.
Let me guess. You're from
I remember-
Dartmouth. Oh, yeah.
This is going to be crazy. And now I heard that the kids don't even throw the ball into the beer anymore.
They don't
just
anymore.
Use water cups.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
it's just like
For
sip
safety,
from your
yeah.
own
So
cup.
much sanitary. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sanitary. Yeah, you think about it, like
Dude,
that's
you put-
disgusting.
you have
that
the
ball
wash
has been
cup,
bouncing
you wash
all around the
you
room.
wash the ball.
That-
You just got to dunk the ball in the wash cup.
No one's
and
changing
you're
the
good.
water in the wash cup.
No,
No one's
yeah.
changing
And
that
then
water.
the
It's been sitting
alcohol
there
in
all
the
night.
beer sanitizes the ball.
Yeah, that's how, and that's then
That
you-
wall, somebody threw that ball and it hit the cat and it went outside, and then Jimmy accidentally stepped on
Yeah,
it and
and
you
he
popped that
kicked
thing
it.
back out.
Oh, it went.
And someone sneezed.
It went under the washer and dryer, under the refrigerator. Yeah, but that don't worry, that
And then
water
you,
will clean
then
it
you
really
dunk it in
well.
some water.
Yeah, it had lint from the beginning of time on it, and you dunked it on
And
the water.
the reason that they call it Beirut is really friggin' dumb, in my opinion.
How racist is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay, so it all
I'm gonna
started
guess a
because
7.
Ronald Reagan was in office, and he was doing
That's
a
getting
lot of
racist.
he was
Getting
doing a lot
racist.
of war crimes, and it was
Okay.
essentially like they're gonna bomb Beirut, and so we're gonna call this Beirut because we're like throwing bombs. Essentially, we're like into the cups. That was like
Jesus
kind of the
Christ.
vibe that I got from
that's
the
not a good
story.
look. It's
And then
not a
I
good
think
look.
they changed the name at one point to like reflect some other military terrible atrocity that was committed. And then people just started
9/11.
calling it beer pong, which I think was for the best for everyone.
All right. This is called Waco.
Like,
Oh,
it's just beer pong. Apparently, at first it was called throw pong for a short period, and then it was changed back to beer
Of
pong.
course,
People called it beer
throw
pong.
pong is the when the president bombed the throw pong province of China. I don't know, making shit up.
No.
You got there eventually.
But also, isn't it so funny to think about 50s frat boys playing beer pong with paddles?
And with like
I assume they're all dressed in ties.
they're in suits. So
Yeah,
they're
right?
in suits. They got greased up hair. Yeah, there's,
Or like knit Letterman's jackets.
yeah, something ridiculous where there's cigarettes.
They're
rolled up
definitely
their
wearing
sleeves.
loafers.
They're wearing loafers. They're talking about their daddy's money, and they call their dads daddies all the time because that was it was okay back
Daddy?
then.
Daddy just bought half the town.
Now you can't say that.
and then he makes a shot, a drink.
I'm gonna go
Oh.
down to the soda fountain and find myself a cute honey to dance with at the at the swing.
Look at
stuff.
us
I'm
going
gonna
to
accost a
Dublin.
lady and
Thank you,
bully her
Daddy,
to
for
going into
paying
a
my
date with me.
tuition.
Bullying her into having my children, of which I will care nothing about.
Oh, there's one time when I was in college, my buddy Spencer was over, and my dad
You shouldn't say
had
people's
his
real
old-
names on this podcast.
Yeah, like
Okay, I'll
Schmandrew.
bleep it. I'll bleep it in post. But my dad had his frat buddy over.
Your bleep had his frat buddy over.
Yes, Hey, no, I'm not saying my dad's name. I can say it was my dad.
Hey, what's
He
your dad's
had
name?
one of his old frat buddies over.
Jimmy.
I don't remember what his frat nickname was.
Jimmy's dad.
I think my dad's frat name was Crotch.
Wait, hold on. Frat people have names?
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you get like your frat
nicknames.
nickname. I don't
What?
know. I don't know.
Hold on. Is that a thing?
Oh, big time.
Since you guys,
Oh,
went
yeah,
to
big-
colleges, can you give me and Andrew frat nicknames?
I was never in a frat. I never
I was
went to
not
a
in a
frat
frat.
party. I was not in a sorority.
I know, but
I was
you guys-
never a
but
part
you
of
guys-
that.
I would still like a frat name,
Please, yeah,
so
you guys went to
please
college,
provide
please,
one.
please, right now.
Before
Okay,
you
we're
tell
gonna
your
have to. We're
story.
gonna have to think about it. So
No, like,
we'll try to
on
come
the-
up with one by the end of the episode.
on the fly right
Yeah.
now.
We will forget.
We will forget. So let's just do it
Okay.
now. Ash, you do Andrew. Zach, you do me. Go.
All right. I dubbed the water buffalo.
Thank
I
you.
was saying, yeah, like, is it just anything?
I dub Andrew the sleepster.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
So your dad's was crotch. I assume
Yes.
he did something with his crotch to earn the nickname.
See,
of
now you're
crotch.
gonna.
No, it's just a riff on my last name.
Oh, okay. Then you are son of crotch.
I am son of
Crotch Jr.,
Crotch
Barty
Jr..
Crotch Jr. Hey.
You're little crotch.
Well, yeah, remember he showed me this like mug that he got as part of his frat, and it just had crotch written on it on the side.
Classic.
But anyway, back to the story. His frat
Oh,
buddy.
wait, hold
was
on.
over.
Ash
His
needs
name
one.
was
Ash,
Killer.
Bo, give
Oh,
give
yeah.
Ash one.
Oh, I had it.
Volcano,
Yeah.
because Ash.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Bonfire.
That's the sound of Ash.
Anyway,
Sorry,
Killer
okay,
was
go on.
over, and they challenged us to beer pong, and they kicked our ass.
Killer. Killer's
Well,
like
it's been
a
around.
shitty dog.
Get it. Hey, go get you. Get those chickens. Well, it's been around since the 50s, so they were probably playing a lot of it in the 80s.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
Especially because, like, in the 70s and 80s, the drinking age was lowered to 18, so you could just buy beer.
Yeah, I remember my parents were talking about how they got grandfathered in because they were like 19 or 20 when the drinking age got turned to 21 in Pennsylvania. And so they were like still allowed to buy booze.
It's funny. And I think it was only for, like,
What?
beer and stuff and not for, like, liquor. I think that's how
'Cause-
the law was. Although I think it depended on the state.
Because it was if you were already over 18 when they changed the drinking age from 18 to 21, you were still allowed. It was just the people who were under 18 at that
Oh,
time.
you're grandfathered in. That's nice.
Side note: if I ever meet your father, I'm going to call him Crotch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "What's up, Crotch?"
It's-
And he's gonna be like, "What?" And he'll be like, "You heard me. You heard
and
me."
he'll be
Crotch."
disappointed in me for telling his frat secrets.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I was also part of beta.
Beta.
Beta, beta, beta. That's
Beta,
it.
beta,
That's
beta.
it.
Beta,
That's
beta.
it. Beta, beta, beta.
One more dad story is that when he was a junior, or a senior. I think, when he was a senior, he got put on like academic probation or something, and he had a letter sent home to his parents because he and his frat brothers threw a flaming couch out of the window on the top floor of their frat house.
That man is a father.
I know, right? And
He
if you
wasn't
knew him,
then.
you would not expect that
It's
at
true.
all.
It's true.
It's really funny.
I-
He
that's
showed
some
me
real
the letter
shenanigan
once. He
behavior.
still has it. It's great.
I lit a.
It's usually those who are the craziest who turn it
The
into
way
the
that he tells the
tamest.
story, they were just going to throw it out the window, and somebody else lit it on fire as they were throwing it out the window.
No, that's a lie. They knew it was coming. There's no way somebody's hanging around with a blowtorch and you don't know what's about to happen.
Well, it was 1982, so couches were much more flammable back then.
And everyone was smoking.
A lot of farts on that couch.
A lot of farts, a lot of smoking, a lot of polyester.
Oh, yeah. We need to get you back on track. I'm sorry.
Sometime in the 80s, Flip Cup was supposedly invented in New Jersey. I saw a lot of blurbs saying like that was what it was, but there was no like actual information. So like apparently that's the lore of Flip Cup, is that it was invented in the 80s in New Jersey.
Feels like a New Jersey thing.
At some point, jungle juice became very popular. Just like, a bunch of nonsense mixed together. And so I have a 2 dumps and a chump. And this is actually 2 dumps and a chump. You have to choose the lie. What is the origin of the name Jungle Juice? How did it start?
Please don't say racism.
Y'all are familiar with Jungle Juice?
Yeah, it's just the concoction of concoction.
No.
Yeah. Just a bunch of liquors mixed together in a bowl,
No, it's a suicide.
Sure, yeah.
Well,
A suicide just with alcohol.
Soda is suicide, so it's a jungle. Okay, got it.
jungle side.
So what is the origin of the name Jungle Juice? Soldiers in World War II fermenting their own alcohol out of fruit in the jungle. Alcohol so strong it would make people think that they were lost in the jungle. Or you had to go to the jungle to get it, aka the seedy outskirts of town. And there's one lie in there.
What was the second one again? One more time, please.
It's referring to alcohol that's so strong that it makes people think that they get lost in the jungle.
Sidebar.
Sidebar.
Zach, do you know this?
No, but I did get lost in the jungle while drunk.
Okay, get in here with a sidebar.
Okay, so if you did that, then were you drinking jungle juice?
No, it was rum.
Oh, then that has to be the answer.
Yeah, I go with it. Yep.
Based on Zach's experience.
That's all
So
I'm basing
number
off.
2 is the lie.
That is correct.
Yeah.
God, I'm so fucking smart.
Nice.
Fucking, you should have went to college, man.
Soldiers in World War II were not allowed to purchase or import any alcohol. So they would make their own and ferment fruit in their helmets and stuff that they found. And apparently in Fort Collins, Colorado, jungle juice was used to refer to alcohol, whether it be bootleg or not, that you had to go to the seedy outskirts of town to get. Zach, did you want to tell us you're getting lost in the jungle story?
It was pretty great. Lost is not really the right word, but it was.
What is the right word? What
Let me
happened
tell
to
the
you?
story. I briefly passed out in the jungle. It was in Belize, and I was working on a field school there doing archaeology. We were excavating some Maya ruins that had been turned into a resort before that was illegal. They built a resort around the ruins and on top of some of the pyramids and stuff. And so the staff who worked at the resort lived in a little town or a little collection of shacks or huts not too far away that we could hike to. And so we befriended one of the well, not one of, but most of the people who were working there. And so they invited us over to their house to drink, and we were all getting super hammered. And then I decided to leave without telling anybody while I was super hammered. And I remember getting turned around on my way back to our little room and just being like, okay, I'm just going to sit down and take a break. And I sat down in the path and looked up at the stars and was just like, oh, those stars are pretty cool. And so I lay down on the path just looking up at the stars, and then the next thing I know, somebody was kicking me in the head to wake me up.
In the head.
Yeah, well, lightly. Kicking isn't the right word, more like nudging. Yeah. And so then a couple of days later, the guy who was running the resort was showing us pictures from the trail cameras that they have set up around the trail cameras. And I know what you're thinking I saw he showed us pictures of me drunk on the path, which is not correct. But instead, he showed us pictures from the same time and day that I was passed out drunk from a trail camera not too far away of a jaguar. I like to interpret that as I came very close to being eaten by a jaguar while I was drunk.
Because you just laid down in the jungle. Pro
So I
tip,
just laid
everybody
down and
listening,
passed out in the jungle.
don't just lay down and pass out in the jungle because you might get stalked by a jungle cat.
Well, they might
And
not.
also, I'm amazed that I didn't get eaten by ants or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's always amazing. It's just missing monkeys, though. Wish it was a monkey kicking ooh, get up. Ooh, ooh,
It would be
Yeah,
pretty good.
if you
There were
change that
monkeys
person to a
around.
No,
monkey,
no.
that would be a better story.
It would be a howler monkey and he's peeing on you from above because that's what they do.
They did
And
do that.
howling.
They would also throw fruit at us.
That's what they
It's a
do.
weird time. Weird time at the jungle.
Apparently.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
Welcome to the jungle. Monkeys throwing fruit.
Zach's gonna get passed out, hunted by a panther.
How old were you when this happened?
13.
I was 22.
Oh.
Right. Well, at least you were somewhat old enough. Who knows? So getting back on track to actually drinking, there's just been more drinking, less college, but that's okay. in the 1990s and 2000s, there was like trash can parties, which is essentially like you put jungle juice in the trash can. And there was a lot of worry during this time about binge drinking being on the rise in college students, if college is like a healthy environment to like put a bunch of young people together with free flowing access to alcohol. I also thought it was funny. I saw a thing about the 60s being in college, and it was, extremely liberal. They're coming off of the wars, and like generally sentiments are like about personal freedoms. And it says like beer was consumed and like some like liquor, but mostly actual drugs were the drug of choice for college students in the 60s. Yeah. And then in the 2010s, the Four Loko craze happened.
Wait, so what kind of drugs do you mean? Do you mean like
Cocaine, buddy.
Like-
Come on.
weed or
Weed.
like cocaine?
I think weed and weren't like Quaaludes a big thing in the 60s?
Oh yeah. Now there's just not any Quaaludes left over, right?
I want to try Quaaludes. What's that about? Like, I don't know.
The only thing about Quaaludes is from that one movie with what's his face?
Leo. DiCaprio.
Yeah, that one where he takes them and he can't move his body and he's like trying to go somewhere and he's like rolling.
My understanding of Quaaludes is that they were like a sleeping pill or something, and that if you like try to fight the effect for long enough, then you just get super duper loopy.
Yeah, that's kind of how I thought they were as well.
So you're talking about Four Locos though? I remember that when that happened, it was kind of terrifying.
Talk about the opposite of a downer is the Four Locos. Has anyone here drinking a Four Loko? I
Yep.
have not.
No,
have.
God no.
Yes.
If anyone did in this podcast, 100% Bo.
Oh.
How
Yeah,
was your
that
experience with that?
tracks.
Oh, it got me really drunk. That's-
It's commonly called blackout in a can. Was that accurate to your experience?
No, because I heard about the bad experience, so I only limited myself to just blackout. I never got into a can.
Wait, what?
Joke.
But,
Zach.
I cannot parse out the sentence you just said.
Just blacked out, never got into a can.
She called it blackout into the can. In the can.
It's
Blackout
called
in
one
a
of
can.
those jokes that he made there.
Yeah.
A classic Bo joke.
Wait. Wait. I still don't get it. It's fine.
Blackout
Like he got
in
drunk
a can.
and climbed into a can.
Yeah.
It's like in a nutshell thing. Like you're not actually in a nutshell.
Oh, that would be so cozy though.
Wait. So did you
He's
black
not
out
actually
on the Four Loko?
in the can.
No. I just got to the point where I got me drunk, and I was like, I'm good.
Okay. Well, you know what? When you guys laugh at me, that's ableist.
Okay.
Why?
So for those of you who don't know,
Why is it ableist?
for those of you who don't know, Four Loko is caffeine and alcohol mixed together. Essentially, it's just like vodka and Monster. Like they put taurine in it. Like what could go wrong, right? It's a really good and smart idea.
So that's
That's
an
probably-
upper mixed with a downer. So that would kill you, right?
Yeah, anything can kill you though.
It's definitely not good for you. It's definitely not good for you.
I'm pretty sure it did. It killed somebody, or it almost killed somebody.
I think it contributed to many deaths. I don't know how like direct it was, but like people were getting really drunk and doing like crazy shit, and some people died. And that happened. It started in September of 2010. The like news articles about college students and young people being harmed by Four Loko, and by November of 2010, they removed the caffeine from it. Although it's been around since 2005, but like when it became a problem, it was a problem really fast, and then they rectified it really fast.
Yeah, a lot of heart problems.
Yeah, I remember very briefly the Four Loko explosion, and I do remember having seen it like at the convenience stores next to campus, or was it? If not the convenience stores, the pizza place that sold
Is this
Lucy's.
Is this an actual explosion or the fake explosion you talked about last time?
Theoretical explosion.
Yeah. Okay.
Theoretical explosion.
Yeah, it's a theoretical explosion.
Okay.
Trying to trick us.
Da throwback.
2010 was my freshman year in college, and like Four Locos everyone was drinking Four Locos. There was a convenience store down the street that apparently didn't card you, and so like that's where people were getting them from. Apparently,
The fish market off Clinton Keith.
The fish market?
There's a place in
What
Marietta.
the fuck are you talking about?
There was a place in Marietta that they never carded.
Oh my
Did you
god,
get
I forgot about that place. Holy crap, I remember that. Is
Tell
that
me a
still
story
there?
about it.
I don't think so.
Okay, so there was a place in our hometown. I never went there myself, but it was I remember my friends would go out to go get alcohol from this one place, and they never like had anyone buy it for them, and everyone was always like, "What the hell is like? Where are you getting this crap?" And I remember we drove past it once, and they're like, down this dirt road, there's a little lake and a fish market, and there's someone there who sells alcohol to people, and they never card.
wow.
And if I remember correctly, that place is probably gone now
Oh,
because
yeah.
I went back recently, and that the whole place is like changed. So, R.I.P.
Little fish market
Fish Market.
Or
slash.
went out for the fish market. Pour out a Four Loco for the fish market.
Yeah. I just remembered a fun story that our father told us once about when he was in
Andrew,
high
you're
school
fired.
to get I think it was in the 70s, I guess. I don't really know. To get alcohol, they would call the local convenience store because they apparently did like grocery delivery. And so they order some groceries, order beer with it under their dad's name. And then when the guy would come, they would answer the door and turn on the shower. Like they would turn on the shower and wait for the guy to come. And then they would come and they'd be like, oh yeah, my dad's just in the shower. He told me to like sign it for you. Here's the money. Okay, thanks. Have a great day. There was no dad in the shower. There was no adult there. And they just took their beer and they drank it.
Here's the thing. Kids will find a
It
way.
was easier to get away with shit back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back then, it was easy. They're like, "Oh, Dad's in the shower, and he'll beat me if you don't give it to me." And they'll be like, "Okay, here you
That
go."
makes sense because my dad did the same. Here you go. Keep the change, sir.
Did I just hear
Sort
a
of
kitty
cat.
cat?
I know, little
heard
kitty
it.
cat.
You did. I have to mute my mic for a second.
Oh, who is
Was that Morty?
That's Morty. Morty, you son of a bitch.
Morty.
I'm podcasting
Morty.
here.
So that was a fun little blip in the college drinking chain was the Four Loko craze. And it was fun because it happened like right when I was in college.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had a Four Loco. I distinctly remember the period when they were super popular, and I'm sure I saw people drinking them, but I can't really remember.
Yeah, I remember people drinking them, but I never liked Monster. So I was like, this just sounds terrible. I don't want to drink this.
That was around the point in time that the frats were closed on my campus because somebody died.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't because of Four Loco. He was an alumni actually Four Locos might have been involved, but it was
Gosh.
an alumni who came back to campus to party with his old frat. He got too hammered and fell down the stairs and died.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And then moving forward, that was, I left college in 2014. We taught at a university for a while. And so we were kind of in that realm, but like it seemed pretty, normal. But I recently saw on TikTok, and so if you're on TikTok as well, you might know. Andrew, I know that you're not. So have you ever heard of this thing the college kids are doing now called the Borg?
I'm afraid to ask what this is.
BORG, Borg.
Is this anything like butt chugging?
It's much safer than that.
Oh,
Bo, have you heard of the Borg?
I have not. These kids are fucking crazy, man.
So the Borg is one of those big gallon jugs of water. You know, the big ones that like student athletes would drink in high school. You dump half of it out, add the alcohol of your choosing, usually a clear one, and then you add like Mio flavoring or like Kool-Aid powder. Some people add like liquid IV or electrolytes to it, and then you put the cap back on and you shake it up and you carry it around with you, and that's your drink for like the whole day. Is this gallon jug of water mixed with alcohol and like Mio flavoring and like electrolytes in it.
That's just called day drinking.
Well, yeah, but it's like the container is the Borg, like that particular mixture.
So it's more describing the bottle than the act of drinking itself.
Well, I'll hit you with another 2 chumps and a dump.
Oh no.
What does Borg stand for? So one of these is true. Big old rampage gallon, boot or rally gallon, or blackout rage gallon.
I think it's the first
I
one.
think it's the second one.
Big old rampage gallon. Bo says
Big old
boot or rally
rampage
gallon.
Sounds cooler.
Zach, you already know the answer, right?
Yes, I do.
The answer is blackout rage gallon.
Damn it.
Mhm.
See, I feel like this is one of those things where somebody made up an acronym for it after the fact, but it's not actually the right one. But that's just
Well,
me.
It could be a regional thing. Like every region calls it, like you said, Beirut, beer pong.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, that's just what I saw, blackout rage gallon. But the best thing, well, there's a couple things about Borgs, but one of the things I want to say is that they name them really funny things. So you write the name of your Borg on it. And so some good ones I saw online were Brown v. Borg of Education, Bob's Borgers, Borgin Freeman, SpongeBorg Borg Pants. So if you guys think of any fun Borg puns, feel free to shout them out at any time.
I'm going to do nothing
think-
else but think of that and not listen to you for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for shutting me down. I had
Okay,
a good
well.
time podcast.
You're welcome. I'll talk at all of our listeners while you guys think about the Borgs. One fun thing about Borgs that I saw
Borg?
also is,
The Borg identity.
oh, that's a good one. That's a great one.
Borg to be wild. A lot of Born things are what we have right now.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
Borg to
Alright.
run.
Free.
Borg free. I was Borg this way.
I like my smorgasbord one, but that was
Smorgasbord.
That's good.
Good.
Smorgasbord.
That's actually really fun.
That's
yeah,
good.
smorgasbord
I
is
like
really
that.
good.
Bo's smorgasbord.
If you add food in there with there, like that's perfect.
And the fun thing about the good thing that people are talking about Borgs is that they have a top on them. And so, like, you're not drinking out of a trash can. You're not drinking jungle juice. It's your sealed beverage that only your lips touch. So it's sanitary and it's safe. And in terms of like risk reduction stuff, the harm reduction. The only bad thing is that you just have to carry around a fucking gallon of liquid at your party. Like that's heavy. But also another thing people said in terms of harm reduction was nobody knows if there's alcohol in your Borg. Like if you don't want to drink and you're feeling like pressured or you don't want to tell people, you can just fill it with Kool-Aid and no one will ever know.
Boo them. Boo, boo, you straight edge.
Don't boo them. Some people don't want to drink.
Boo, peer pressure, boo.
I think what you got to do is you got to have a DD, and then the DD's got to be the Borg dispenser. Like they're the keeper of the Borg. And then you bring those little like collapsible cups. And then all of your friends, like, whatever your friends want to drink, you can like dole it out for them. But like one person holds the Borg.
Do they put X's on their Borgs so they're straight edge? Yeah.
Well, I think the whole point is that nobody knows that you're straight edge. So no, I don't think they would do that.
Oh.
I would put 3 X's on my Borg, like an old timey bottle of hooch.
I like you.
Mhm,
That's why I like you.
And I also think it's funny that they're trying to put liquid IV in it to try and like offset the hangover. Like it's water and liquid IV and then like a bunch of liquor. I don't know
Does
how
that,
well it
like-
works.
Yeah, does that work before the fact? Like, is it like a prophylactic type of situation, or is it all just wasted
I have no idea.
while you're getting wasted?
That's what.
I mean, I don't know enough about it.
That's why my go-to drink is whiskey and ginger ale. The ginger ale suits
Oh my
the
God, Bo,
stomach for
Twin Flame, because it's so good. Me
Yeah.
too.
Exactly.
Sorry, keep going.
You get it because it suits the stomach, and you don't wake up feeling like shit. So you keep drinking.
And
You know
it
what
tastes
also
good.
helps with hangovers? If you eat a double cheeseburger.
Oh.
Hey.
We got jokes. I started trying to think about more things, and I just thought that Borg sounds like burger, so it's like In-N-Out Burger.
Did you go to Burger King? Damn it.
Yeah, exactly. That's where my mind went. What a burger!
What a burger. Hell yeah.
That's stupid.
Like the Borg identity. That was really good.
Borg meets World.
About a Borg?
About a Borg.
Mm.
I like that. Borg Jorg. Oh man. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, like, and so, like, and there we are. We're in 2020, 2021 with the Borgs. And it turns out that drinking in college is essentially the same, like, no matter what decade you're in. Like, that's something that has been so constant. It's just like, young people like to drink,
Young people be drinking.
You're not wrong.
And so I thought we could end it out if anybody had a particularly fun young drinking story that they would like to share. I mean, if not, that's all right. Where to God Zach gets lost in the jungle.
Oh, I got one.
Yeah, that's my best one.
Tell us,
I want to
Bo.
hear Bo's.
Andrew, can I tell a drinking story? You're part of it.
Am I?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually glad you're going to do this because I don't have a lot of memories from back then.
Ah, okay.
So
Do you remember?
I've had a lot of concussions in my day. So if you start telling it, I might remember it, but who knows?
Do you remember the
Let's
time
go.
we got drunk with Donna and her friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got really drunk on
Oh, I know this story.
Oh, we got really drunk on, was it Malibu? We got drunk on Malibu rum.
I don't remember that part.
Well, because you were drunk on it. And it was great.
Maybe.
And I
Or I was drunk on something else.
love.
Suicide sodies
Oh, you'll find out.
I just remember getting
that I fermented in my toilet.
So honestly, about this one, this is probably the third time I've ever gotten drunk. Was that night too? Oh, we got.
No, it was. You
Yep.
fucking liar.
I'm not lying. Not
Don't you
lying.
lie to me.
I'm not lying.
He's lying. You're lying to everyone on the internet right now.
I'm not internet. This is Bo Truth right here coming out.
So Bo is a seasoned drinker by now. Sorry, go on.
yeah. So yeah, because it's hereditary. We got super drunk. And I remember going, and these two girls, I'm like, Andrew, like, should we bring a girl over? He's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna come over too. We start doing it, start getting drunk, making the moves on these ladies. Yeah, I was with you. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get up. And I went up and threw up. I was like, let's continue kissing. And I'm like, oh, by the way, I threw up.
no.
She goes, don't kiss me, you threw up. I'm like, oh, okay. And then she's like, I think we're ready to go. And her friends are like, ready to go. So then they both got up and the girls left as me and Andrew were standing there in the driveway.
No. You're not telling the whole story.
Shut up. Okay, fine, Mr. I remember now.
Oh, called out by the guy who can't remember shit.
It was a cold California evening.
66 degree.
It was cold outside.
Or is it 69
So-
degrees?
Hey.
Hey.
Bo, this girl was coming up from Bo. Was like, "Hey, I wanna, I'm gonna make out with this chick. I'm gonna try it. It's gonna happen."
And I
And
did.
I was like, "Okay, got to do it." So he's like, "She's bringing a friend over. So you got to come over." And I was like, "Okay." So we went over there.
Oh my god,
We're hanging
wingman.
out. Yeah,
Mhm.
being the wingman, hanging out, doing her thing, sitting in the garage, as you know you do. And she goes, Bo's like trying to kiss on her, and she was like, "No," and he was like, "Come on," and she was like, "No." She goes, "I'll kiss you if you two kiss."
Not mixing stories. That was Kaylee, wasn't it?
That's the same story.
No, that was another Kaylee.
Same story.
There's two Kaylee.
Uh-oh.
Same story.
There's two Kayleys.
Uh-oh. Trouble in
No,
paradise.
same story.
There's two Kayleys.
Anyway, well, I'm gonna keep going with the story.
Okay.
So Bo's like, "I'm gonna kiss this girl," and she's like, "I'll only kiss if you two kiss." And me and Bo locked eyes, and there wasn't even a thought or a discussion.
Oh, we kissed.
We kissed.
We kissed.
How did it go?
Hey,
Was it good?
It went great.
I was babyface Bo, and I got a whole fucking beard face on me. It felt so nice. It felt like
Bo-
I felt like
Bo-
felt like
Bo-
I.
Was
he
their
felt the
tongue?
He felt the no, but he felt the he felt the tickle of the mustache.
I felt like I finally felt like what it like be like to have a beard, and it was great.
And then Bo made out with her, and it was a good night.
Mm-hmm. But
Until Bo barfed and then
Nope,
was
nope,
just tried to kiss her.
he comes.
So yeah, how is this a different story?
because there's two Kayleys.
I don't know. I didn't know their names.
Okay,
Gotta be
But you
completely
kissed for both Kayleys?
yeah, Andrew's kissed two
Oh
Kayleys.
my god, you kissed both Kayleys. Wow.
Wait,
I've
what?
never kissed
It's,
anyone in my life, but my wife.
It's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, right. She liked friends named Kaylee.
So then, wait, what happened in the first one?
The
what
first
happened at
one-
the end of that first one?
They drove off, and you and me looked at her because you got done making out with her too, and we high fived, and then we've parted ways.
Okay.
That was my story.
I remember the second story. You made out with the one you wanted to make out with, and then I think I may have kissed the other one. I don't remember.
I think you did.
But as they were driving away, I remember distinctly saying, "I'm never going to talk to that person again," and then I left.
Yeah, that was the first night.
Was that the first time?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything,
Yeah,
man.
and you're laughing, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to her again." And we
And
high
I
five.
never did.
And he never did.
I was strictly there for my boy. I kissed my boy.
Okay, again, you didn't kiss me that night. That was another night.
I'll kiss you any day,
I-
anytime.
Whose version of events do you believe?
I will.
You gotta smooch the homies.
It's,
you know?
it's just, drug stories. There's our strokes. There's our story. I'll kiss you in April. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see you.
all right.
But my wife has to watch.
Yeah.
I have a drunk story, but it involves a lot of barferino. So, I mean, if you guys want to hear it, I'll tell
Do
you.
it.
Okay, so
Content warning.
yeah, content warning. We'll put it in the episode description. This involves a lot of
Apparently,
barferino.
okay, if me and Bo kissing wasn't enough for you to be discussed.
I mean, some people don't like to
Then-
hear about. What's the best word to use? Is barferino good for everybody?
I would
Mhm.
like you to use the word upchuck or
Emetophobia is the technical term
Oh, thank you
for
for that,
not wanting
Zachary.
to hear about. I knew a girl with it.
I think it's pretty common. It kind of is part of the story. Anyway, so we were in college. I believe I was a junior at that time. And our roommate had come home from work, and they had to start work at 4 a.m. and then they got off at like 3 p.m. and they didn't like eat anything all day really, and they came home with a bunch of liquor and was like, "We're getting drunk." And I think I had been awake for like an hour at that point because I woke up at like 1 p.m. that day. And so we just started drinking like monsters, like just down on it. And then so we went to the bathroom to get a little crossfaded, as it were, as was our usual style at that time. And the one who had been up since 4 a.m. was not looking good. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she just leans over and starts to barferino all up on my leggy style. And I was wearing shorts, and so it was bad.
Barferino all up on my leggy style.
I would like you to macrame that into a pillow
And
with a picture of
being-
you like with your leg out, like whoa.
Oh,
Oh,
and the combination of being in the small room that was hot and like it was the sensory feeling of it on my legs and everything, the smell. So I shoved her head in the toilet. I actually did help her first because I'm a good friend. And then I immediately turned over and started my business in the bathtub. And then my third roommate who was there.
Barferinoed in a bathtub?
Big time. I was like, this is better than the floor. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I can
That's
rinse
true.
it out. Like, and it was a very small bathroom. So I shoved her head in the toilet. I just turned my head to the right, started happening. And then my other roommate who was also there was like, oh God, oh no. And ended the train in this bathroom sink, which was so much worse to clean out than the bathtub.
The barferino sounds like the worst Chef Boyardee dish.
Yeah.
Oh no, Andrew, you might be able to explain this to me because of all of your time spent doing home inspections. One time when I was a kid, so this story has nothing to do with booze, but it does have a lot to do with barf or Reno.
Oh,
Please
no.
address it as barferino moving forward. please.
Barferino. It has a lot to do with barferino. So I was a kid and we were staying in a hotel room and I got sick and I threw up in the sink and then we washed it out and then I turned on the bathtub and barfy water came out of the bathtub.
Oh my God,
now.
that is the worst thing you've ever said. Oh my God, how is that so much worse than my story, which involved 3 different barferinos, and yours only
Yeah,
had one
that's-
barferino, and it made me ill.
What
That's
kind of
disgusting.
fucked up plumbing did that hotel have?
The answer is completely fucked up plumbing.
Like, how does that even work? I have a distinct memory
the answer
of
of that is it shouldn't.
Yikes! Let your water.
That's what we
run,
call
I
a
guess.
colossal oopsie daisy.
Mm,
There you go.
big time oopsie
Mhm.
daisy.
Wow. Well, I liked the first story about the barferino. I didn't like the second story about the barferino.
That's crazy. That
That's
It's
absolutely
crazy how
disgusting.
Zach
That would
Because you
have
think
happened.
about
Why
it.
is
It's crazy how Zach can just make up, not make up, just tell awful stories.
Why is it that, like, yeah, and, you know, I'm just trying to make like a fun contribution to the discussion.
Yeah, it's like your
but then
dentist
why does it
cock
always
again.
turn out that
No, it's your dentist talk again. Stop it.
Oh no! Oh no! I do have one more story that I do this sort of remember.
Ooh, am I
Oh
part
yeah,
of it?
okay.
I think it was source I was involved.
Bo was there, but so the only time that I really drank was with Bo growing up, like after high school,
Mm-hmm.
because I never touched alcohol until well after high school.
Same.
So you're saying Bo was a bad influence?
But
on
he
you.
was a terrible influence.
God, did you have fun?
So
Classic Bo.
Did you have fun?
one time I did.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
One
that was
time.
Schmandrew.
Andrew had fun.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, one time our friend was watching, or no, sorry. Our friend was hanging out with this girl.
They were
I don't want to say they were together.
they were dating.
They were question mark? It was one of those things.
One thought they were dating. The other
Facebook.
one.
They were always together.
Facebook gets complicated.
No,
Sure.
But she would probably put in a relationship. He would put hanging out.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
yeah. It was one of those. So she was tasked to watch someone's home of the parents' friends or something. And that immediately we went there within seconds. I think they were like, okay, you can watch your house for the night, no parties. And we were like, okay. And I don't know if that was like her house or her parents' house or something, but it was a house that they were tasked to watch. And within seconds we were there.
Mhm.
So we went over there. We had fun. We sat in the hot tub. We set up the hookah in the front room. Did our thing.
Classic.
I think I kissed another person named Kaylee there. I don't know if it was a different one.
How many
Just the
Kayleys are there
Kaylee
in
kisser.
Indiana?
Like, oh my
I
goodness.
don't know. There seems to be a theme now.
He's just kissing Kaylee's.
I remember it was a big deal too because everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, like you kissed Kaylee, shouldn't kiss anybody." And it was like, "Yeah, go me." And then the
'Cause
night
you're a
ended.
good-looking dude, man.
Yeah. Bo, can you confirm that?
You're a good-looking dude.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need the internet to know.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Wow, was that from? No, that wasn't from that
Yes,
night.
that was.
Oh my god. Well, anyway, so Bo just sent a picture in the chat. So we're all hanging out, having a good time. So the night ends, and I think a lot of us stayed the night there, which because we were responsible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we weren't idiots.
I wasn't drunk driving yet.
So, however, we were in the pool and in the spa most of the night. I don't really remember how I got back into my clothes because I was really tired and probably drunk. So the only thing I do remember is I woke up in the master bedroom, laying on top of the bed. The bed is completely made. I am sideways on the bed, and I am soaking wet.
Oh,
I may have
like from head to
been-
toe.
Yes, I may have been thrown in the pool and/or spa with my clothes completely on. Not sure about that. My
You
phone's
party
still on.
animal. Look at you.
But I woke up there. I remembered I had to go to work. I woke up. I got in my car. I drove to Carl's Jr. Got 2 breakfast burgers,
Oh, they're so good.
and I
had one this
ate
morning.
both of them on the drive to work. I did not want to feel like shit. And then I went to work.
It was soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
They didn't care
Head to
about
toe.
that.
Never heard a word about it. Never heard a word about the person who was watching the house saying that their parents and or parents' friends' things were soaking wet. But I believe Bo has a epilogue to this
I
story.
have an
I
epilogue.
love this.
Speaking of, the two not together or not together, whatever. Well, those two stayed as night as well, right? After everyone's left, it's just those two. Well, the said girl who's watching the house, mom shows up to the house. In a panic, freaking out, all right? What the hell? House is downstairs, trash. As the evidence, there's a giant, hookah in the middle of the...
Not a great thing to have out.
What happens is Cody, here's the name.
Bleep.
Hi, Cody.
Here's the mother.
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care. Here's the mother there, runs, immediately hides in the bathroom. Oh, while hiding in the bathroom, actually hides in the tub behind, he's laying down in the tub. Well, along comes mother needs to use the restroom.
Oh my god.
And the mother and the daughter follow each other while the mother's yelling at the daughter while Cody's laying there trying to hold his breath because he's in the bathroom they are in while she's being berated while she's peeing at the daughter.
It's like when Dwight said that he lowers his heart rate by limiting his breathing. That's pretty much what he was doing.
Yeah. He's like,
hiding in the shower.
Never been so
with the
afraid
shower
in my
curtain.
life.
Just,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, thankfully everyone left at that point except for those two.
Yeah.
Because it would have been way worse. But yeah, he never was found.
Nope,
Some good
never
hiding.
knew.
I never found again because
Sneak
you killed
increased.
and buried.
So yeah, not college related because none of us went to college at that house, I don't think.
We went to JC's for a minute.
I didn't fucking do that.
Turns out that it doesn't matter because if you're young, you're just gonna drink, and it turns out it's not that hard.
I had an EDU email.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Because honestly, after that, like I didn't really drink all that much.
That's
anymore.
true.
It was
That's
like
when
it was
Andrew-
just hanging out with you guys doing that.
I never really I drank a lot for like a very short time, but then now I don't really do it basically ever.
I can give you sad stories. You want to hear about the time I got
let's not
drunk
do-
after my
let's not do
divorce?
We're over it now. We'll do a divorce pod. That'd be maybe your first upper decker will be a divorce pod one.
Yeah, what's it like to get divorced? What's the paperwork like?
Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah.
Did you have to get a lawyer?
Zach,
Did you pay
take us
alimony?
out.
You just drink a lot and then you just cry.
Oh gosh.
A lot of
Oh,
corners
gosh.
sat in.
A lot of corners
Both-
lean into.
I mean, Zach,
All
take
right,
us
Zach,
out.
take us out.
Shh.
Oh, wait,
Take us
before
out.
we
Shit
go,
into
before
a
we go,
corner?
before we go, I have one thing that I would like to leave you all with.
my divorce.
I like big
Oh.
borgs, and I cannot lie.
Hey, you other Borgers can't deny that when a Borg walks in with a gallon in your face and,
Hey.
You guys-
and
You get
a straw
bored.
thing in your face, you get bored.
See,
Okay, Zach, take us out.
I had one too. I was like, you guys after this
Oh.
want to play Super Smash Bros?
Oh, but
Hey,
Hey, that's a good one.
I can't believe I was completely unable to come up with a good one.
so just say, oh no, step Borg.
Step Borg.
Well, take us out from our podcast. Get Borg done. Go.
Borg souls?
Borg souls. Yeah, it's good. I'll allow it.
No, it's not good. It's bad. It's bad.
Dark
I did a bad
Borgs.
job.
Get
Star
Borg done
Borgs?
in
Star Borg, that's good.
Infoborg, an Infoborg broadcast.
Blood Borg?
Blood Borg. That's a good one. That's a great one. You got that.
Hey, he got it. Hey.
Take us out. Take us out.
I got there.
You got to take us out if you don't. Yeah,
It's just another Born. It's just Born.
Get us out of here. Get us out of here.
Okay, so that was actually, you know what? Wait, did I do?
Oh my god!
Because I did my radio voice. Okay. Hey, that was Get Dumped On, the Infinite Podcast here. And today we're going to talk, Ash did the episode about college drinking.
He's turning into Bobcat Goldthwait.
If you like this podcast, give us a review on iTunes.
No one's gonna
He's
listen
spiraling.
ever again.
Hey, Spiral.
That was my Bobcat
Like,
Goldthwait.
"Hey, take us out,
That was
man."
like Kermit the Frog more than Bobcat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Let's get out.
Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped On an Info Dump podcast.
Bye.
That's-
Bye.
Follow us on social media. If you have
Follow us
any
on Borg
ideas for
Media.
Infodump, send it to getdumpedonpodcast@gmail.com.
Get
Follow
Borg
us
done.
on Instagram at
Instaborg.
getdumpedon.
At Get Borg done.
Was it Get Dumped On Podcast at
Get Borg done.
Instagram?
Get Dumped On
Borgstagram.
Get Dumped On Instagram. Follow us on Spotify and Apple
Borgify.
Podcasts or wherever you get your
Borgify
podcasts.
Borgcast. Okay, bye. Borg. Borg and Borg or Super Borg and Borg and Borg.
Borg.